students, today we are going to start the new chapter of your 12th syllabus. Name of the chapter is Vectors. In daily life you have studied you handle many type of quantities which are known as physical quantities. Physical quantities are actually the quantities which can be measured. So measurable quantities are said to be physical quantities. Physical quantities are divided into two parts, or they are mainly classified into two parts: vectors and scalars. So let us see what are scalar quantities and what are vector quantities. Scalar quantities. Physical quantities which can be completely described by magnitude only are said to be scalar quantities. In this type of quantity, you don't need to describe the direction. For example, mass. Suppose you have to tell mass of a subject, mass of an object. You don't need to tell its direction. अगर किसी चीज़ का मास आपको एक्सप्लेन करना है और किसी चीज़ का वॉल्यूम, सपोज मेरे पास एक कंटेनर है, उसका वॉल्यूम क्या है ये मुझे डिफाइन करना है, तो आई डोंट have to tell its direction. Its direction is not important. Okay, so you can completely describe its volume by magnitude only. Such type of quantities are said to be scalar quantities. So examples of scalar quantities are mass, volume, length, temperature, etc. Suppose I have to say that I have to walk 2 kilometers. Okay, so distance traveled by me is 2 kilometers. So no need to say the direction. I am talking about distance, not displacement. Okay, or suppose I have to measure length of a table. So you know there is no need to tell the direction. So length and temperature. Suppose room temperature is 26 degree. So to count room temperature or to describe room temperature, you did not need any direction. You cannot say that room temperature is 25 degree upward, 25 degree north. Okay, so no need to tell the direction. Such quantities are said to be scalar quantities, quantities which can be completely expressed by magnitude only. Next type of quantities are vector quantities. Now these are those quantities which can be completely described by magnitude as well as direction. So to describe this quantity you need two things: its magnitude and its direction. So examples are velocity, acceleration, okay, force. Force is the best example. You can visualize all the vectors in terms of force. All of these are vector quantities. If you apply force on an object, you have to tell its magnitude as well as its direction. So to describe it, you need magnitude and direction. So such type of quantities are said to be vector quantities. In velocity also, suppose you are saying that a car is moving from one city to another city or one place to another place. To describe its velocity, you need to describe its magnitude as well as direction. What you say? The car is moving 2 km/h in north direction. Okay, so direction as well as magnitude both are required. So such quantity is said to be vector quantity, a quantity which can be completely described by magnitude as well as direction. Such a quantity is said to be vector quantity. So these are the quantities, scalar quantities, physical quantities, divided into two parts. So you may have discussed in physics also. आपने ये physics में भी पढ़ा होगा what are scalar quantities and what are vector quantities. Okay. Now we'll see what is representation of vector. how to represent a vector. Representation of a vector. Now actually vector is represented by a directed line segment. A line segment if given to you. This is line segment AB. Suppose length of this is 5 centimeter. Now up till now I have not given its direction. Only a segment is given to you. So now this is a scalar quantity. But if I put an arrow ahead, this will get a direction. The direction is from A to B. So now this is a directed line segment. So a directed line segment is said to be a vector. Vector is actually, you can define a vector as a directed line segment. So vector is represented by a directed line segment. To denote this segment, to denote this vector, you can use this symbol AB arrow on it, or you can simply write it as AB bar. So this is a symbol used to denote a vector. Now see, its direction is from A to B. See the arrow. It is starting with A and ending at T. So direction is from A to B. Okay. So here A is said to be its initial point and B is said to be its terminal point. Initial point and terminal point. It is starting with A. So A is the initial point. It is ending at B. So B is the terminal point of the vector. Suppose initial point and terminal point are not given, still you can represent a vector by a small letter. So you can represent this vector as vector A. Okay, so this is initial point and terminal point. This is a way to represent a vector, representation of vector. After representation of vector, we'll discuss one more thing, which is said to be line of action. Line of action, or it is also known as line of support. Actually, a vector is a part of line having infinite length. This vector AB is a part of line L, which is having infinite length. So such line L is said to be line of action of that vector, or it is said to be line of support of that vector. Okay, so vector lying along infinite line, that line is a line of support. So more than one vectors may lie along same line of support, or they are parallel to same line of support. So this is all about line of support. Now next thing we have to discuss is magnitude. What is magnitude of a vector? See, in vector we are talking about two things. Its direction and its magnitude. So what is magnitude of a vector? Suppose a vector is given to you. Here again we'll see the same example. Vector AB have the length 5 centimeter. So it is said to be its magnitude. Magnitude of vector AB is denoted by mod of vector AB, and it is defined as length of segment AB. Okay, so the segment which is having direction is the vector, and length of that segment is said to be its magnitude. So vector AB have magnitude which is equal to length of segment AB. Now suppose a single vector is given, with using single letter, vector A, vector B, then its magnitude is denoted by mod of vector A, mod of vector B, and so on. So magnitude of a vector is length of that vector. Okay, so this is all about vectors, their representation, what is line of support, that all we have discussed. Next we'll see what are different types of vector. So our next point is types of vectors, in which first we'll see what is zero vector. Now zero vector is a vector, as the name implies. From the name you can guess the type of the vector. Zero vector is a vector whose initial point coincides with terminal point. So length of such vector is 0. Okay. Initial point coincides with terminal point. Suppose A is initial point, if same is the terminal point. So vector AA. This is said to be zero vector. So obviously its length is 0, means magnitude of this vector is 0. Now what about direction? See, if this is a point, okay, it is zero vector, so it does not have any length, or you can say that its length is 0, its magnitude is 0, but its direction is undetermined. You can consider that its direction is any direction. Direction is not known to us. You can consider as any direction. Zero vector is in any direction. You cannot say that zero vector do not have direction, because if it does not have direction, it cannot be considered as a vector, because vector need both magnitude as well as direction. As it is a vector, its direction is anywhere. It is having any direction, but its magnitude is 0 unit. So initial point coincides with terminal point. Such vector is said to be zero vector. Mostly it is denoted by 0 bar. Zero vector is denoted by 0 bar. Second type of vector is unit vector. Again, by the name you can guess the type of the vector. Unit vector are those vector whose magnitude is 1 unit and its direction is in the direction of given vector. Suppose vector A is given to me. Suppose length of this vector is 5 centimeter, then a unit vector will have length, or its magnitude will be 1 unit, and its direction will be in the direction of vector A. As this is 5 centimeter, if I divide it into 5 equal part, I get the length of 1 unit, right? So suppose this length is 1 unit. So a vector having same length and in same direction, this is said to be unit vector, and it is denoted by a cap. This cap notation represents unit vector. So vector which is in given direction having magnitude 1 unit is said to be unit vector. So you can define a unit vector as a cap is equal to a bar divided by magnitude of a. So always remember that to get a unit vector in given direction, what you have to do, divide the vector by its magnitude. अगर आपको बोला है कि एक वेक्टर आपको दिया है और उसी डायरेक्शन में आपको यूनिट वेक्टर फाइंड आउट करना है, तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? जस्ट डिवाइड द वेक्टर बाय इट्स मैग्नीट्यूड. वेक्टर डिवाइडेड बाय इट्स मैग्नीट्यूड गिव्स यूनिट वेक्टर. नेक्स्ट टाइप ऑफ वेक्टर we can define equal vectors. Equal vectors. Now two vectors are said to be equal if they have same magnitude as well as direction. As we are talking about vectors, we have two things to discuss. One is magnitude and other is direction. Now suppose there are some vectors which have same magnitude and direction also. Such vectors are said to be equal vectors. Now see these vectors. Vector A. Suppose one more vector is there having same length, vector B. Another vector is there having same length, vector C. So you can observe that magnitude of vector A is equal to magnitude of vector B. But what about the direction? You can see direction is exactly opposite. So you cannot say that vector A is equal to vector B. But you can observe that vector A and vector C, they have same direction as well as magnitude. So you can say vector A is equal to vector C. Magnitude of vector A is equal to magnitude of vector C, and direction of vector A and direction of vector C is also the same. So two vectors are said to be equal if they have same magnitude as well as direction. Next type of vector is After equal vector, we'll see like and unlike vectors. Like and unlike vectors. Now these are those vectors whose types are depend on their direction. If two vectors have same direction, they are said to be like vectors, and if they have different direction, they are said to be unlike vectors. Okay, so it does not depend on its magnitude. Okay, magnitude is immaterial here. What we are talking about is the direction. So if two vectors have same direction, they are said to be like vectors. Here vector A and vector B are like vector. Even if they have different magnitude, their length is different, still their direction is same. So you can say that they are like vectors. And if they are not having same direction, they are said to be unlike vector. Next type we'll see co-initial and coterminous. Co-initial vectors and coterminous vectors. Now co-initial vectors are those vectors which have same initial point. Vectors having same initial point are called co-initial vector. See these examples. Vector AB and vector AC. These are vectors having common initial point, that is A. So these are said to be co-initial vectors. So now you can guess definition of coterminous vector. These are those vectors whose terminal point is same. Suppose PQ is one vector and RQ is another vector. So you can observe that their terminal point is same. So such vectors are said to be coterminous vector. So co-initial vectors have same initial point and coterminous vectors have same terminal points. So these two types depends upon their initial point and terminal point. Next type of vector we are going to discuss is collinear vectors. Collinear vectors. So vectors lying along same line, or you can say vectors having same line of action. Just now we have discussed what is line of action, what is line of support. So a vector is a part of infinite line. The line is said to be its line of support. So vectors lying along same line of support or vectors having same line of action are said to be collinear vectors, or you may find its definition as vectors lying along same line or parallel are said to be collinear. So one thing you have to note that up till now collinearity, जब हमने points की collinearity discuss की, we know that points lying on same line are said to be collinear. But when we talk about vectors, vectors lying along same line or parallel are said to be collinear vectors. So one thing is added here, or parallel. So if vectors are parallel, they have same line of action. So they are said to be collinear vector. Now see these vectors. Vector A, vector B, vector C. Irrespective of their magnitude, we don't have to talk about their magnitude. They should lie along same line of action. So such vectors are said to be collinear vector. Again, direction is also immaterial. Direction is not important. Oh, what is important? Their line of action is important. So if they are lying along same line of action, they may be parallel also. Okay, so vector A, vector B, vector C, vector D, all of them are collinear vectors. See, vector A and vector B lies along same line. Vector A and vector C, they are parallel. Okay, so vectors lying along same line or parallel are said to be collinear vectors. So no need to take the direction under the consideration. What we have to see, whether they have same line of action or not, or whether they are parallel or not. Such vectors are said to be collinear vectors. Next definition is coplanar vector. Again, just like collinear vectors, coplanar vectors are defined as vectors lying in same plane or parallel are said to be coplanar vectors. Vectors which lie in same plane or parallel plane. Now suppose these are two planes parallel to each other. So vector A, vector B, they are lying in same plane, so they are coplanar. But if there is one vector which lie in parallel plane, so still you can say that vector A, vector B, vector C, these are coplanar vectors. Now here direction and magnitude both are immaterial. You don't need to take the direction as well as magnitude in the consideration. So these three vectors are coplanar vectors. Now next type of vector is free vector. We'll see what is free vector. This is 8th type. Free vectors. Free vectors are the vectors which are free to move in a plane. Means you can shift the vector along the line of action or parallel to the line of action. Such vectors are said to be free vectors. Now see, this is a vector, vector A in plane. This is another vector, vector B. So these are free vector. If these are free vector, then you can shift them along the line of action or parallel to the line of action. Means initial point of these vectors are not fixed. They can be easily moved anywhere in the plane parallel to its original position. Okay, so I can shift this vector, you can shift it along the line of action here also, vector A, and this can be shifted here also. So they are free to move in a plane. Okay, their direction is same, their magnitude is same, but what is changing? Their initial point is changing. Their initial point is not fixed. So you can shift this vector here. Direction same, magnitude same, and suppose vector B I have shifted here. So it is having same direction, it is having same magnitude, but it is free to move in the plane. So it is said to be free vectors. So free vectors are those vectors which can be shifted along the line of action, parallel to the line of action. Its initial point is not fixed in the plane. They are free to move in a plane. And in complete discussion of this chapter, the vectors we are dealing with are considered as free vector until it is given in the problem. Okay, so जब तक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन में नहीं दिया गया है कि which type of vector it is, then you have to consider as free vector. If it is mentioned that this is not a free vector, then you can consider it as a next type, which is localized vector. Localized vector. Now localized vectors are those vectors which can be shifted only along the line of action. So their initial point is fixed. So this can be shifted only along the line of action. You cannot shift it parallel to the line of action. Such vectors are said to be localized vector. So to differentiate these two, I will give you example of this. Free vectors, example of free vector is velocity vector, and example of localized vector is force vector. See, if my car is moving on the road with a speed in this direction, if I shift its position, okay, suppose it is starting from A, so A is the initial point of the car. If I shift this car parallel to itself here, I am changing its initial point. Its velocity will not affect, velocity will not change. So because I am changing its position only, magnitude will remain same, direction will remain same. So velocity is free vector. But what happens if I shift force parallel to itself? Suppose one object is placed on a table and you are applying force in this direction at this point. Okay, so you get a result. This object will change its position. But if I apply same amount of force having same direction but parallel to itself, Suppose I apply same amount of force here. What you get? You will get a different result. Okay, this will move further. Here it may happen that this will fall in this direction. Okay, so if you change the position of force, if you change its initial point, you get two different results. So it matters. Changing initial point matters here. You cannot change initial point here, but here you can change the initial point. So you can visualize two vectors by considering their examples. Localized vector is a force vector and free vector is a velocity vector. So these are different types of vectors.